let's talk about the West now. That's shaping up to be hopefully for the second straight year. Well, not hopefully, but it's shaping up to be for the second straight year potentially the
I will
toughest
say
division.
before you get into it, the
Yeah,
West is a bit more of a like it's obviously a better division, but it's a little more difficult to predict in my
right,
opinion, or like what to expect because all
right,
of the teams have potential. So
right. Yeah, I mean theoretically, all four teams in the West could make the playoffs.
right,
Absolutely. There's just so much talent on each team, and I think that when you really look at who the coaches are in the West, okay, so you've got Kyle Shanahan, you've got
Cliff
Sean,
Kingsbury,
you've got Cliff, you've got Sean McVay, who are
Sean
three of the
McVay,
brightest offensive minds in football, and then you've got just Pete Carroll, who's just a crafty some
Pete
bitch.
Carroll,
Yeah, 68-year-old Pete Carroll. It's like he's still alive and kicking somehow. Like, ugh.
smacking that gum.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the day that like Pete just retires and goes away, and then maybe the Seahawks
Yeah, it's like
win a ring
hallelujah,
more.
he's gone.
Yeah, because he's been ever since he's been there. He's been good with them. Like seriously,
Yeah,
it's been a rough go. Through our Harbaugh run and our good 2019 run, they've always been good. They've always been good. But
yeah,
I don't know. Somehow, and this is what I wanted to get into, I feel like this could be their downfall. I'm not saying Seattle is going to come out and have a 6-win season, but I could entirely see Seattle finishing last place in the division. I could also see the West sending four teams to the playoffs in, a crazy ass
wait,
situation.
is that even possible
Yeah,
now? Is that
yeah,
possible?
absolutely. Yeah, with
Because the
well,
new rules,
actually,
isn't it?
actually, with the expanded, I don't think they're doing the expanded wild card this year, are they? So maybe not. But three
Okay,
of the
so
three
maybe
of them
not.
definitely
That's
would
so
have been.
crazy.
Yeah,
If four teams, that's crazy,
yeah,
but
yeah,
I guess
yeah.
it's all
With
good
his
enough.
Hamilton as West is. I mean, I think that's are going to be a team to watch. I mean, they've always been good in the West. Sometimes their number more than, but scheme up well. That's not to say that the Rams aren't a good team because whenever I watch them play anybody else, they usually kick the shit out of them and dominate them because they play good football. And it doesn't
Yeah,
hurt when you have Aaron Donald, who for an interior lineman usually gets like 15 to 20 sacks a season, which is unheard of. But
yeah. Well, and the Rams have Stafford now, right?
yeah, yeah, they got
So
Stafford.
yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, but they could easily be
You
the
think the
best
Rams
team
are the
in
team to
that
beat?
division.
Yeah, I mean, I,
I
I could.
mean, I don't want to say it, but I mean, the Niners healthy, yes, I mean, they could, they're both, I'd say they're both probably equal. Like a healthy Niners, like yeah, but yeah, they're the team to beat with Matt Stafford now instead of Jared Goff. That is definitely, I think it's going to be, the Niners and the Rams more than anything. I mean, the Cardinals and the Seahawks obviously are both good teams, but yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, and I mean that's the like you said, it's hard to predict, especially in. I feel like the West is the hardest division
Yeah,
to pick in football.
it is.
Obviously, the
It is
AFC
hard.
West,
It's
like
hard.
you figure the Chiefs are taking that one. You know
Right.
the AFC South probably going to be the Titans, maybe the Colts. Depending on like how
Yeah.
Carson Wentz looks, but like a lot of that stuff's like predetermined. Like the West is really it's a
And then the
crapshoot, man.
AFC North will probably be the Packers, right?
You mean the
That's the
NFC
AFC
North?
North.
Yeah, 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 NFC North.
NFC North.
But
Sorry,
yeah,
that's what I
I
meant.
got what you meant though. You were right though. But yeah, more than likely, I mean, hey, unless the Chicago's graced with the miracle of Justin Fields, you know,
Yeah,
he could
maybe,
go
maybe.
off, could go off. But yeah, I mean, I could see how you're saying that. Here's why I think that the Rams might struggle. Okay, and I touched on this a little bit earlier. The Rams' top running back, uh, Daryl Henderson, I believe is his name, went down with a knee injury. He's out for the season. And I was like, okay, well, the Rams aren't going to have
Oh,
a running game.
mm,
And then, as I just mentioned earlier, they acquired Sony Michel from the Patriots. And I was like,
okay.
shit. Okay, so he's a
Yeah,
pretty good
shit.
running back. So I was like, the one kind of like weakness that they had on, I was like, well, they can't run the ball. Maybe we'll make them one dimensional.
I
Like
was gonna say if you hadn't finished, I was like they'll probably pick somebody up, and then there you go.
sons of
But that's
bitches.
what they did. Like,
Sons of bitches. And they got a good one too. They didn't
yeah,
wait for like the
yeah,
teams to cut everybody. They actually went out and traded a pick
hmm
for Sony Michel from the Patriots, which
yeah. That's not good. That is
yeah,
not good.
yeah, he's a former Super Bowl winning running back. Like we don't need that. We don't need that
No,
at all.
that's terrible. Yeah, they are. That's definitely going to be the team to beat then. I
Yeah,
would
I
say.
mean, I'm hoping that some of those Detroit habits don't didn't leave Matt Stafford too far. But yeah, you're
Yeah,
you're you're probably
that's gonna
right.
be scary. Yeah, Matt Stafford with that's gonna be scary. It's gonna be shitty.
Yeah,
But I mean, with the Niners now, with Lance and Jimmy is a good quarterback. So
yeah,
and with the healthy roster around him, they can easily beat them. I mean, not
yeah,
easily, but
yeah.
they can
And
definitely
and
beat them.
and
It's
we
not like
swept
it's
we
that
swept him last season and the season before that even. So I mean, in the last 2 years, Kyle's 4-0 against McVay. So I
Oh
mean,
wait, you slept them last season when they were 6-10 both games.
yeah, yeah,
Damn.
yeah,
I mean, I remember I watched them, but
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
remember
So
offhand. But
two of our 6 wins were
wow,
against the Rams.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
So maybe not then. I mean, it just
yeah.
seems like there's something there, unless Stafford just changes it
Actually,
entirely.
if I think I want to say 3 of our 6 wins were in the division. We took the Cardinals once too. So I mean, with a banged
I
up
think you're right.
roster, and we almost beat Seattle with Nick Mullins at the end, or no, with CJ at the end of the season. We almost beat him with CJ. But yeah, so I mean, the one thing that we have on the Rams, and I'd say probably any team in the West, is the depth. And John have been building this team since 2017 to have depth. And the fact is, like you said, we were a 6-10 team last year with our third stringers are basically a 6-10 team. Our third stringers
Yeah.
are basically, a lot of teams in the East, bud. Like
Well, it
that's
was a mix of like probably first, second, and third,
yeah,
but
yeah, of course, but yeah, for the most
but
part,
I get your point. I get your
yeah.
point. But like the team where it's made up of largely backups is still better than like a
Yeah, yeah, and
50% team.
that's encouraging. And I know that the Rams don't have that depth, especially at running back. They have one good running back now. Um, you
Yeah. If
know,
he gets hurt though,
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
wish injury on anybody,
yeah.
but
No,
if he gets hurt,
I don't want him to get hurt. I just,
yeah.
I basically just would like for the offensive line to fail to open holes. Like that's all I'm. No, nobody needs to get hurt, because that's not sportsman like at all. But yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
if the offensive line seems to struggle against D Ford and Nick Bosa, and they probably will, because who won't? You know, everybody that has that assignment's gonna have a rough day.
right.
You know what John Lynch said today? Like it was a badass quote. It's a total John Lynch quote. They're like, John, do you worry about the health of your defensive line? And John's like, I do. He's like, I worry about the health of the quarterbacks that have to play them. And I was like, oh shit. And I was like, oh man. I was like, yeah.
Damn, savage.
Armstead, Kinlaw, fucking Ford, Nick Bosa coming back.
Hell
Plus
yeah,
you
it's gonna
get
be great.
Samson Ibukim in there, who's going to be like a situational pass rusher. He was always good for the Rams. We took him off the Rams. That was a big pickup. One of the few.
Did we want to cover any of the other divisions?
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna get into the Cardinals actually, because that was one of the things that I think the Cardinals personally, and I know you think the Rams, but I think the Cardinals are gonna be really good. I think that they could give us a run for our money.
I forgot about the Cardinals. We didn't mention them.
Yeah, yeah. No, and Kyler Murray coming into his third season, I think he's gonna be really good. I mean, he's shown a lot of
Yeah.
potential, but he's also been a guy that's made like a lot of like young player mistakes as well. Where
Hmm.
maybe taking a sack on a play where you should have just gotten rid of the ball, or throwing the ball into
Right.
double or triple coverage, resulting in a pick, which has helped us in certain games. But yeah, I mean, I think he's going to take the next step. I mean, Kingsbury's a good coach. They've got they picked up James Conner from the Steelers to add with who's the other running back that they have? Uh,
I
Drake,
don't know.
Kenyon Drake.
Oh, Kenyon Drake.
Yeah, Kenyon Drake.
Yeah.
It just took me a second. So they're going to have an improved running game. Plus, Kyler can run the ball. Uh,
Yeah.
Larry did not return, though. For the first time in a long time,
Yeah.
Larry Fitzgerald did not return. But they do have DeAndre Hopkins, who might be the best receiver in the game. They've got um, they have Andy Isabella, who's like a speedster receiver, and they've got who's the other guy? Why can't I think of it? I've got another decent receiver that it's just escaping me right now. It'll come to me at some point.
I feel like the whole division is very stacked, but
Yeah,
it seemed like maybe I don't know, of the least stacked of them all, I guess.
Well, they also you got to realize they also brought in J.J. Watt on that defense, so the defense
Oh
is
God, I
yeah
forgot
yeah
about
yeah you
that.
forgot
Oh
about J.J.
Jesus.
That's why I'm saying I think that the Cardinals could be as disruptive as
That
it. They
doesn't
got
help.
J.J. Watt plus Chandler Jones, who had 19 sacks a couple seasons ago.
Man,
So
that's
they
going to be an
yeah
insane division
yeah
battle. Oh
that's
my
why
God.
that's why we pay Trent Williams 138 million because we gotta we gotta keep that ankle and Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey and the combination upright. But yeah, I think the Cardinals are going to surprise some people. I think the Cardinals are going to give us a run for our money. We always, for some reason, struggle against a mobile quarterback, which is why I think that we'll have less of a hard time against Stafford. Because Stafford, we're going to keep in the pocket, and
Right.
a quarterback in the pocket against the Niners defense is it's a dangerous game if you want to stay in the
So
pocket.
do we want to just for shits and giggles make a prediction of how it will go? I mean,
Yeah,
obviously we'll both want to say Niners number 1, but
yeah. I mean, I honestly,
it's
and I'm
so
not,
hard to pick them
yeah,
in
and I'm
order.
not being biased. I literally think that if the injuries didn't happen last year, we were on track to have a good season. I mean, we literally
Yeah,
from game
definitely.
2 started getting wrecked. So I mean, right off the
Yeah,
bat, we were pretty ravaged with injuries. So I mean, we didn't have like a 4 game stretch of games where we got to play good. Jimmy got banged up in game 2 against the Jets, and it just went downhill from there. Bosa we lost game 2. Solomon Thomas we lost game 2.
yeah.
Kittle only played in 8 games. So I think that I mean, and we were just 1 year off the Super Bowl, and
Right.
we had the
I was
same
gonna
roster.
say if they play like that year, then
Yeah,
yes, I think they
yeah.
should definitely be number 1, and then probably followed by the Rams, and then Jesus Christ.
Seattle.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Seattle third and Cardinals would fourth would be
yeah.
my guess. I think.
I'm going out of left field, and this is recorded. If it's right or wrong, we can come back to this. But I'm gonna go Niners, Cardinals, Rams, and Seahawks last.
Seattle
I
lost.
think Seattle will fall.
Seattle last.
I
Wow.
think
Okay.
Seattle will, and keep in mind that Seattle could still have an 8-8, 9-7 season and finish in last place. I mean, and I think that's
Right.
entirely likely. I mean, I just think that they had a rough off season. There was a lot of stuff behind closed doors about like the relationship with Pete and Russ, and apparently that's okay now.
Really.
But is that really ever okay? You got to think like with the Aaron Rodgers situation, it's like it's okay, but is it really okay?
Well, it also depends on how much that actually affects like playing. Like maybe there's like relationship issues and stuff like that, but if that doesn't necessarily translate to on the field problems, then it doesn't matter really. Like not to everyone watching, they
Yeah.
still win games. If just because they might not get along the best,
Right,
no one
right.
gives a
Yeah.
shit if
Oh,
they're
oh,
still
you're
winning.
you're right. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, you're
So
100% right. And they still, and based Russell Wilson's been doing it, without a lot of help for a lot of years, and they have DK Metcalf, so they've got Tyler Lockett. They've got good players over there. So
I just don't see them dropping off. But I mean, it would be nice because they've been good for so long. So to see them be last, I would trust me. I'd
yeah, yeah, they've
be
been on a
happy to
run.
see.
They've,
But
they've, they've been on they've been on a run for going on 10 seasons here under Pete. So
yeah, so I just don't see that really ending. But I mean, I think they could maybe even be second, but I think the Rams are
yeah,
strong
yeah. I
with
mean, and,
Stafford
and
for
that's
sure.
that's what makes it a difficult division to predict is because like it literally
I
could
know.
go.
Yeah, we're
I
just
mean,
taking stabs in the
we, we,
dark
we,
here.
we,
You
we
just take
could
a
be we could
dartboard and be
end up
like,
being last. I mean, I really don't
yeah, yeah.
I really don't think
Any
so,
team
but
could be
yeah,
last.
yeah, exactly. With this division is insane and stacked.
It's insane. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Ugh.
that.
I wish we could transfer to the NFC East.
No, I don't. Fuck that.
Yeah, no, I'm just
That'd be
kidding.
bad. Then both our teams would be
I wouldn't
playing
I
each
wouldn't
other
want to do
each
that. I wouldn't want
side
to
of the
do that
year.
to Washington. I wouldn't want to do that. That's sad.
That would be terrible.
Yeah, I'll let you guys
At
keep
least now, unless we get better.
beating up that cowboy ass. I like to watch that on Sundays.
Right.